How much should we really love God? Good morning, guys and girls. May 22nd. May 22nd. Let's look at the Gospel of Matthew, Matthew 22:37. Matthew 22:37 of our catch of the day. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. Oh, if I could sing, I would just sing that for you. In fact, if I could sing, I might sing the whole song. That's a great song. I know some of you listen to Christian music. Some of you may not. I'd recommend listening to Christian music, no matter what kind of music you like. You know, I've been a country music fan all of my life. And of course, I'm still like old rock and rollers. I'm still like old rock and rollers. I still love rock and roll. Yeah, I still love rock and roll. But, you know, I've got a lot of great friends in the country music business, and I love to go to their concerts. I just love country music. But you know, honestly, I've got to the point in the last several years, where I listen to country music just almost totally. I mean, I can name Christian music, not country music. I can pretty much, I know all the Christian music stars. We go to Christian music concerts. I can sing just about every Christian music song out there. And this is a great one right here. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. It's a great, great Christian song. Milburn, you will never just leave me alone. Let me do this, baby. Just let me. He's got to where he just his horns. You know, of course, when those horns grow out. Look at him turn his head because he wants me to. It's on the other side. See it? I can scratch it. He just moves his head around. These deer are so fascinating. See, because you know, it's going to grow out into some horns of some sort, probably a couple spikes or something. It's all. But then they rub the velvet off of them, so they just like, and that's why they're just rubbing around with their head on everything. Even Lucy loves to rub her head around on stuff, and she doesn't have any horns, but sometimes I think she does. She's a little devil sometimes. But Lucy says, "Boss, don't talk to me like that. Go graze with your adopted mama. Go graze with your adopted mama." Hey, baby doll. She's such a precious thing. Okay, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. Chris got tickled at our granddaughter, Jordan, when she was little. You see, at the time, she was almost 7 years old. Almost 7 years old. She's a senior in college right now, going to graduate. I think at the end of December she graduates. She was almost 7, but she had already caught a lot of fish. So she was a pretty good fisherman at that time. As Chris was watching her, she was catching bluegill after bluegill after bluegill here on the dock. She looked up at Chris and she said, "Grandma," with that great big smile. Grandma Chris, you know, that's what she calls her. Our kids call her Grandma Chris because, you know, you got to have a lot of different names for grandmas in families if you got a lot of grandmas. And we have a lot of grandmas in our family. So you got to put some sort of extra name on them there. And Grandma Chris, I just love fishing here at Twin Eagle Ranch. And just a big smile on her face. She was just having such a terrific time. You could just see what she said. "I just love fishing here at Twin Eagle Ranch. I just love fishing here myself." There are many facets to what we call love. What does God want? I believe that God desires the most complete love we could ever imagine. Love that rises above material things, our hobbies, our careers. Love that rises even above our families. Jesus said that we leave all, forsake all, and follow him. That's how much God wants us to love him. And I know some of you might be thinking right now, do we really love God that much? How in the world can we? How can we love God more than we love basically everything else? Here's how. By understanding that all else that we love is a gift from God. My granddaughter Jordan, and she's turned into a fine Christian young woman, didn't realize at the time, but what she was loving was a gift from God. One thing was her grandma and granddad who had a lake that she could fish. The rods, the reels, the fish themselves, the water, even the little worms or whatever she might have been using for a bait. I think she's probably using little worms, live worms for bait right then. which is a pretty good thing to teach your 6 or 7-year-old granddaughter. Teach her to put a real worm on a hook. A lot of them don't even want to handle worms, but teach them that that's okay. But everything that was happening in that moment with Jordan was a gift from God. You know, I got a note the other day. Get back, Milburn. I got a note the other day from Martin Allison, and he said, you know, at my age, Jimmy, every day is a blessing from God, no matter what. And I wrote him back and I said, you know, at any age, every day is a blessing from God. Jordan at 7 was having a great, terrific day. Great blessings from God. As you get older, you understand how important each and every day is, because most of your days you've already lived. You have less days in the future on this earth. So every day is a blessing from God. Without God's love for us and His mighty blessings, nothing else, including our very next breath, would matter. Without God's love for us, His mighty blessings, we have nothing, including our very next breath. Our tip for today, this is a good one. Y'all have heard me talk about it a lot, you know, in the Jimmy Houston Outdoors channel. A fish feeder will enhance your fishing in any body of water. A fish feeder will enhance your fishing in any body of water. Jordan catching those bluegill after bluegill, we feed those bluegill every day. So a lot of them gather up there at that spot, and that's what makes it good. If you live on a lake that's got catfish in it, it's going to have a lot more catfish around your dock. You could live on some of the biggest lakes in the world, and if you've got a fish feeder around in front of your house or on your dock or your pier or where you live, it's going to help your fishing right there. So you're going to have better fishing where that is. Even if you just draw bluegill in. If bluegill are around there, bass and crappie are going to come in also. So, and bass and crappie, for the most part, unless they've been trained to eat fish food, they don't do it. But if you'll put a fish feeder out, and we use Texas Hunter fish feeders, you've seen them, we use them hunting and fishing both. But if you'll put a fish feeder out, I promise you, you'll have better fishing right there around your house. If you're fortunate enough to live on a lake, or even if you have a pond on your property or a little small body of water that you get to fish, put a fish feeder down there, and it's going to really enhance your fishing in that area. If you're not already subscribed to the Catch of the Day channel, be sure to subscribe to that channel. It's a book I wrote several years ago. We read it every day at 5 a.m. and post it at 5 a.m. Central on our Catch of the Day channel. If you're not on our Jimmy Houston Outdoors YouTube channel, be sure and get on that channel also. We post video on Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So we do over 500 videos a year for YouTube. Over 50,000 people now on our Jimmy Houston Outdoor YouTube channel. This channel right here, we just started this one this year. It's growing every single day. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one today. And remember, everything is a blessing from God. I love you. I love you.